Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Miss KK and this is The Wave. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, we really appreciate. And if you're already a returning subscriber, an awesome appreciation for always interacting with us in the comment section below as well as on our Instagram page. We really appreciate that. Today we are doing something relatively new, which is the debrief of our knowledge check quizzes that I run on Instagram on Friday. So every Friday on my Instagram page, if you're not following us, please do follow us on Money Matters with Budget B and help us grow that amazing community as well. But if you're not following us, I do Knowledge Check Fridays where I put a series of multiple choice questions where you get to choose which one is your correct answer, and our sole aim is to just help you understand a few basic financial concepts, and at the end of the day we just want you to start making informed decisions. So I did a few questions, some were relatively easy, some were difficult, to just see who are people that are in our audience that are a little bit advanced in the financial knowledge. But please don't take it as a point of discouragement. I really hope by the time we get to December, you are acing every little question that I put on my Instagram page. So the first question that I did was, what is the VAT rate in Namibia at the moment? So for us that don't know what VAT is, it stands for value added tax. It is a consumption tax that we pay for goods and services in the country. So there are obviously some exceptions where some goods are exempt, some goods are zero rated, meaning if something is exempt or zero rated, you don't pay VAT at all, and standard rate are those goods where it attracts VAT at 15%. So the option that was correct is of course 15%. And also I just want to mention here, you don't pay VAT on your salary because there's already PAYE, which is the tax that is withheld by your employer from your salary. So if they were to levy VAT on top of the PAYE, it would be double taxing it. And you also don't pay VAT on fuel because you already pay the fuel levies, and those fuel levies are actually what was suspended by the Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Finance and Energy, I think, for two or 3 months to help us, ease the pressure on the increasing oil prices. So because you're already paying that fuel levy tax, you can't now be paying fuel levy plus VAT. It will just get expensive for you. So this is just what I want to actually put out. It is 15%. The 16.5 though that was there also as part of the option was it's the effective tax rate that is calculated on the import. So when you import something in the country, you are actually charged 16.5% and not 15%. So that is the first question, and I hope you do know now why 15% is the correct answer. The second question that I would like to discuss is around property investment series. I actually have covered this in my property investment, where I discuss how to prepare for buying a home loan, what mistakes are made in the journey, etc. So if you haven't done so, please revisit that property investment series. There's quite a lot of variable information. But to get back to the question, the minimum deposit required for a first-time buyer is 0%, and thereafter for the second or third property is at least 10%. But obviously you can put up more than 10%, like the 20% that say it's perfectly fine for you to put up, but you are not required to have any deposit when you are a first-time buyer. And secondly, but that doesn't actually mean that you mustn't be saving any money whatsoever if you are preparing to buy a house, because you are going to have bank fees that are going to be charged, you are going to have lawyers fees, bond registration costs, and sometimes the bank may or may not finance those costs. So you need to be prepared that you're not thrown off or you're not losing out on a deal because you don't have the money to pay for these extra added costs. So that is the reason why I put that question. So that brings us to question number 3. Question number 3 was, which tax is not applicable in Namibia? And there was income tax, there was VAT, there was capital gains tax, and was withholding tax. And VAT is obviously not applicable. It's not the correct answer because we already discussed that VAT is charged in Namibia at net 15%. So obviously VAT is out of the question because we already discussed in the first question that VAT is applicable in Namibia and is currently being levied at 15%. We also can't use income tax because I also did 2 videos where I helped you to understand how PAYE and tax certificate helps you in calculating your income tax, and you're actually withheld. The PAYE that is actually withheld by your employer from your salary is also an income tax. So that means also income tax is not the correct answer. Withholding tax can't also be correct because when you have money in the bank account, you would notice that the bank actually withholds tax from the interest that they actually accrue on your bank account, and the money they pay to you is after the tax that they've already withheld. So that also means that withholding tax is also applicable in Namibia, which leaves in capital gains tax. So what exactly is capital gains tax? So capital gains tax is really just that tax that is in place to tax people on the capital appreciation of any fixed property or any capital related items. So for example, if you buy a house and you bought it in 2002 for 500,000 and in 2020 you sell it for $1 million, you would have made a profit of 500,000. So that 500,000 profit you would have made is actually a capital tax and would have been subjected to capital gains tax. But in Namibia, we don't have capital gain tax. So if you sell your shares in a business, sell your house, or sell any other capital related items, you wouldn't be paying tax because that is there's no capital gains tax in Namibia. The fourth question that we did on our Instagram page is which income is subject to tax, and the first one was profit on sale of shares of your house, and that is obviously incorrect because we just discussed in the previous question that there is no capital gains tax in Namibia, and an appreciation in value of your house would have been subject to capital gains tax, and that is currently not applicable. Therefore, option 1 is incorrect. Option 2 is actually the right answer. A rental income generated from a property is subject to normal income tax. The third option is incorrect because currently dividends are exempt from tax in Namibia. And lastly, interest from a postal bank is exempt from tax. But if you do so that means if you invest your money in Nampost, the interest that they pay you is tax-free. But if you invest your money in a commercial bank, the likes of FNB, Standard Bank, Bank Windhoek, they would have been subjected to tax, but they're actually subjected to withholding tax. So when you actually come and declare that in your income tax, you wouldn't be paying extra tax on top of that. The last question that I did on my Instagram was actually a bonus question, and I was hoping and praying for 100% because I thought it was quite easy and it's quite topical at the moment. And the question is, who is the tax collecting authority in Namibia, or who is the tax collecting agency in Namibia? And I thought NAMRA is actually trending for all the wrong reasons at the moment. So if you've been watching social media, you'd notice that actually NAMRA burned goods, counterfeited goods or confiscated goods to the value of 5 million, which actually sent the youth in uproar because they actually do believe that it was unfair and all the arguments around it. So NAMRA is the tax collecting authority, and that's why I thought everyone would have read about the NAMRA story and they would know who is the tax collecting authority in Namibia. They were previously called Receiver of Revenue, and they were actually rebranded last year to NAMRA. FEMA is actually the proposed act that was going to affect your pension. And if you've been following my videos, you'd notice I did 2 videos on the retirement related conversation, and one was in particular about the FEMA Act, which was proposed to come into effect later this year, which is actually at the moment postponed to actually allow for consultation with the broader stakeholders. So FEMA is not an agency, FEMA is an act. NAMFISA is the regulator that regulates financial institution in Namibia, and they are the ones that were actually implementing this FEMA Act changes. So NAMFISA has nothing to do with tax. They are actually there to regulate financial institution, pension and non-pension, obviously including the medical aids of the world, the banking of the world, the insurance company of the world. So that is the regulator. So NAMFISA is also actually not correct. And there was quite a few people that actually thought NAMFISA was the tax collecting agency in Namibia. And NAMRA is the correct answer, but SARS is actually incorrect. SARS is a tax collecting agency, but in South Africa, so it's South African Revenue Services. So basically, that was it from the Knowledge Check Friday. I actually said if you get the last one wrong, you get me chocolate. So at the moment, I'm currently sitting at over 40 chocolates, guys. So next time I'm also going to put a bonus question, and I'm really hoping as we get to the end of this conversation, we start getting these answers correctly. So if you didn't get any of these answers correctly, please don't give up. Come back next time. I'm going to have a lot more variety. So you notice that this week we were mainly dealing with tax related questions. So I'm going to try and cluster the questions that are actually related to one thing, and then as we progress through the year, actually now we are in May, so hopefully by September, October there I can actually start doing a range of questions that are actually touching a few other aspects, ranging from investments, ranging from savings, ranging from interest rates, ranging from loans, ranging from home property investment, ranging from shares, and the broader conversation at large. Otherwise, this is all I had from today's discussion. Thank you so much for making time to stop by. Remember to please subscribe if you haven't done so, and please share the videos, give us a thumbs up or a like if you enjoyed this video, leave your comment below, and until next time, it is goodbye.